Slovak PM Robert Fico has admitted that the world does not take the European Union seriously. Fico posted on X to inform about his phone call with German counterpart Friedrich Merz on the ongoing crisis in Europe vis-à-vis Greenland and Ukraine and related global developments. In what could be deemed as the tacit approval of Trump's push for Greenland acquisition, Fico told Merz that the U.S. president is pursuing the interests of his country. He added that if the EU acted in the same way, the bloc would be in a different position. Fico added, "World leaders do not take the EU fully seriously, and this can be attributed to our nonsensical climate targets and our suicidal migration policy. In this spirit, I will send an open letter to the President of the European Commission tomorrow and inform all prime ministers and heads of EU member states." Fico added he proposed several solutions to Merz, adding that he expected the German chancellor to visit Slovakia soon. Fico's outburst comes days after he signed an intergovernmental agreement with the United States on cooperation in civil nuclear energy. The agreement includes the construction of a 1,200-megawatt nuclear reactor following the American plan at the Jaslovské Bohunice nuclear power plant. Earlier, Fico sought to bail out the U.S. for its attack on Venezuela and instead targeted the United Nations, calling it toothless.
Great powers today literally do what they want. They completely wiped out the very existence of international law and the absolute necessity of its observance. Unfortunately, the United Nations is on its knees, and its Security Council, without significant reform and a thorough strengthening of its authority, is utterly toothless.
In a small country like Slovakia, we can't achieve anything.
We are just watching in utter disbelief as American elite military units abduct the president of a sovereign nation, Venezuela, and as the United States is about to announce that they would govern all of Venezuela, a nation of 30 million.
In his New Year's address, Fico had also slammed European leaders over their policies.
My dear Slovak women, my dear Slovak men, and all esteemed friends, I wish you a truly happy new year for 2026, but also to our whole beloved nation of Slovakia. To the honoree, and today we celebrate the 33rd anniversary of our independent nation's birth, and the Christ years are certainly a reason for a serious remembrance of this event, so significant for all Slovaks. From Slovakia, I send greetings to the entire world. The Kremnica Mines and the Church of St. John the Baptist are most frequently acknowledged as the true geographical heart of Europe, and therefore, in the spirit of my foreign policy, extending to all four cardinal directions. I wish only the very best to everyone. To those in the West, in English, we say Happy New Year. To those in the South, in Italian, Buon anno. To those in the North, in Swedish, Gott nytt år. And to those in the East, in Russian, S novim godom. Dear friends, I have always made it a point to avoid empty words, meaningless phrases, hypocrisy, or any form of self-deception. And even this morning, on the very first day of January in the year 2026, I intend to speak to you with complete candor. The year 2026 is an election year, and it will certainly reflect that reality. Even more distinctly than before, the differences will be visible between those who stand for peace, a sovereign Slovakia, traditional values, a strong welfare state, and freedom of speech, and those who want our beloved Slovakia merely as a small, obedient, and nationally and culturally unidentifiable, insignificant dot entirely subservient to transnational interests. The difference in the view of Slovak reality will continue to deepen. No, not everything in Slovakia is perfect, that's true, but objectively we must acknowledge the successes and the confident decisions made. I reject the political culture of self-flagellation and creating an image of Slovakia as a black scorched earth. We all know that this image is completely false and serves only narrow-minded political goals. In 2026, we will also witness a further escalation of tension by attempts to move the political struggle to the streets. I promise you that if I'm, as the Prime Minister of the Slovak Republic and as the chairman of the political party Smer Slovak Social Democracy were to call the public together, it would only be for us to greet each other. And together they sang, for example, on March 8th during International Women's Day celebrations, on May 1st celebrating labor and entry into the European Union, on May 8th calling for peace, on July 5th welcoming the legacy of Saints Cyril and Methodius, on August 29th paying deep tribute to the heroes of the Slovak national uprising, or on October 6th at Dukla, rejecting war. My dear Slovak women and men, I especially implore each and every one of you to collectively raise our voices for peace and do absolutely everything for the peaceful coexistence of all nations. Peace is not merely an empty, profane word. In thus contemporary times, peace must truly be the fundamental basis of all our endeavors, of our very being. For as a truly wise individual once profoundly stated, peace is not everything, but without peace, everything is absolutely nothing. I am literally appalled by the ease and calculated indifference with which many leaders in the European Union regard the senseless killing of Ukrainians and Russians, Slavic peoples who are close to us. Dear friends, at the start of a new year, I don't usually make resolutions. I belong to those who, if they wish to do something or begin a new endeavor, do not wait for the 1st of January. However, I am the Prime Minister of the Slovak Republic, and I have a responsibility to address the question of how I intend to respond to the absurd escalation of societal tension, which represents a political counterpoint to the endeavors of our current governing coalition. I have always believed that democracy is a competition of the best for the best ideas.